everyone, this is Neil's Meals. I cook on the internet for people. Tonight what I'm doing, what's for dinner? What's for dinner is turkey and dumplings. Turkey and dumplings is my classic dish that I do after Thanksgiving when I have a turkey. Um, oh, that's an interesting question. Um, all right. It looks like it's going to start an ad, but that is just the way it is, I guess. Let me get some ingredients. I'll wait on the turkey for now, but I do need to get some vegetables. I've got some celery I need, and a carrot, and a little more celery. All right. Let me wash up some stuff here. Hey, Merrick. Making turkey and dumplings. So classically, this dish doesn't take a carrot, but I like a carrot for a little color in it. Its base is generally what you'd do in any sort of poultry situation. You have carrots, and you have onions and celery. So I'm just cleaning my celery up. It's not too bad. Paper towel here, I can put these out on. I don't think I'm going to use this one because it's a little rubbery. Also, I'm going to need an onion. And you want kind of a big onion. This one is white, but you could use yellow onion. In fact, I may be putting some. Oh, thank you, Merrick, for hanging around for 7 streaks. I appreciate it. I may put another little one in there that I have. All right. So now we'll get to chopping vegetables. I'll get out a knife and a cutting board. I'm not going to find a cutting board in the refrigerator, though. Okay. There we go. And we will do this. And give you all a little view of it here. Maybe move this over a little bit. All right. Um, Meals on nails. How does this sound? Spring mix salad with grape tomatoes and feta cheese, served with sockeye salmon with garlic and herbs and a side of white truffle mushroom risotto, paired with 2 scoops of vanilla ice cream topped with maraschino cherries and chocolate syrup and a glass of Merlot. As long as the ice cream, I guess, is on a different plate and served after the salad and risotto, I'd say you're fine. I'm not a huge fan of salmon, but I recognize that it's a very healthy fish that people like. All right. So I'm just going to work on the celery. I'm going to actually use some of the tops in it. If you have the leafy tops, it's good in this. Oh, a 4-course dinner with wine. Okay. I don't know how popular Merlot is anymore. I honestly, what I use Merlot for the most is to cook. I tend to think it's a good reducing wine. If I'm drinking, I tend to like either like a Bordeaux or an Italian wine. All right, so we're just gonna, the deal. You cut them into strips. And it's funny, I see recipes for this dish, and this dish, is quite varied. Oh, Pixelmog, thanks. Sometimes it's the dumplings that are different. I tend to use a dumpling that's a biscuit-based dumpling. The old dumplings are little, almost sort of like pasta, little flat things that are made. That's just not what I grew up with, and it's not what I want. It's good, but it's not what I want to make. Let's do this and move these over. And we'll just chop these little pieces together. All right. All right, so we have our celery. Master of Splits, French onion soup served with sautéed seafood medley and a side of seasonal stir-fry vegetables paired with black cherry ice cream, topped with dark cherry sauce, and a glass of I'm not familiar with Temprano or Tempriano or Tempriayo. I'm not sure. Are black cherries sour cherries or sweet? Because I tend to think sour cherries are better in a dessert. Peel this carrot. All the carrot we use in this, and then is that why the wise men brought? Myrrh is what the three wise men brought, and I can't remember what myrrh actually is. I was trying to do that, but I'm just going to do this. Sorry, I dropped something there. All right. You love onion? Do you like eat them raw, or do you just like onion in things? Yeah. I like some raw onion. I like raw onion on a salad or on tacos, on a hot dog. I don't usually have it though because I'm the only one able to eat it. Ooh, I have to step away from it for a second. It's making my eyes water. All right, so I'm going to heat this pan on medium heat. I'm going to put some olive oil in it, a little bit of olive oil. Just, maybe a teaspoon and a half. And some butter. And in this case, this is about, hey Dimok, this is about 2 tablespoons of butter. And the reason you put the oil and butter in it is to raise the smoke point of the butter. Not that we're going to be subjecting this butter to lots of heat, but that helps. Where does this need to be? This needs to be closer. All right. There. Sorry. Turkey dumplings. No, it's not turkey dumplings. The dumplings will be made out of biscuit dough that I will make. It's a soup. It's not like Chinese dumplings. Oh, welcome in. For those of you who might have just come in, this is the classic thing I make after Thanksgiving. And it's normally I probably make it on Saturday, but tomorrow is our anniversary, and I won't be streaming because Jay Fries and I will be going out to dinner for that. It's our 11th anniversary, so we've been together a while. And I guess I'll tell you about the genesis of this dish. I mean, this is an old soup. People have made this for probably 150 years, and it's probably morphed through. The dumplings have always changed around. The dumplings that I do are, basically just sort of Bisquick dumplings. So nothing super old-fashioned, but it was what my mother did, and so that's, what our parents do with our food informs us through our life. And I do like the other types of, dumplings, but when I make it myself, this is just what I want. Light, fluffy dumplings that thicken the soup. All right, so we've got our fat up to heat here. So we're going to put in our vegetables and soften them. Oops. I could never get all of the vegetables, even in a pot as this big. There's always one that goes sideways. Okay, and so we're just gonna get those all turned around in the butter and oil. and we will sprinkle those with some salt. And the salt will do two things. It'll soften them somewhat, but it'll also pull some of the water out and allow that to cook off. And that'll keep your stuff from burning in your pan. So those will go for a little while. Now, I'm going to turn my attention to these. These I'm going to put in later in the meal. But I will just sort of take them off here. And these are the leaves of the lettuce. And the leaves of the lettuce are good in soup. I mean, many people think of the leaves of lettuce as sort of an afterthought. And I'm just going to wrap these in this little towel and set them in the refrigerator. I am using, I think it's a Holly take. It's not super expensive. Look up, like on Amazon, a wireless lavalier. They come in Holly Land. I'm sorry, it's Holly Land. And I want to say it's a Lark 2. It's actually 2 microphones. And there's a little transmitter that you plug in. And you can get the transmitter for Lightning, for USB-C, and for 3.5 millimeter jack. And I mean, you're not looking to cook these vegetables all the way, because they will sort of boil in the soup to a bit. All right, so I have 2 things here. This is broth I made yesterday with the turkey neck and some other vegetables. And this, these are the drippings from the turkey yesterday. And this is some leftover gravy, and I won't put a lot of that in there, but yeah, and I wear it right here. It's just this little thing. I probably should, it's just this little thing here. I used to put it on my apron, but it would ruffle against my apron and make noise, so I started putting it on my hat. And while we're waiting for those vegetables to cook, let me get the turkey out of the refrigerator. There's so much food in there from yesterday that I have to move stuff around. All right, so I don't think I'm going to use this onion. I think we had enough onions, so I'll put it back. And again, you could put other vegetables in here. You could put some people I've seen put peas in it. I don't really super love peas. I mean, I'll deal with them in a soup. Let me do this. So this is the turkey that I have left over. Some of it's dark meat and some of it's light meat. I like to pull some out. Make sure it's all good meat, because yesterday when I was picking it off the bird, I just sort of pull anything that looks like meat. And so sometimes you get a little piece of gristle or something that's not great in the soup. And I tend to think that a mix of dark meat and white meat tends to work best. I guess I should put what my equipment is in the about on my channel. I never think to do anything like that because I don't super love what is going on with my setup sometimes. But it seems to be working all right tonight. For this is where you want to use, you want some decent chunks, but you also want to use any of the little stuff. It may break down in the soup, but it'll still help the flavor. This is like a piece that is stuck. It's really thin and stuck to the skin. I think I just got it off. All right. Hello, Uncommon Wolf. Hope you're doing well. And of course, how much turkey you have will inform how much you use in this soup. I'm going to start with that amount. Let's see how that goes. Let me stir my vegetables around. Turn the heat down a little. I'm actually going to add a little water to it because it's getting a little more color than I want. It's true that, Maillard reaction color is flavor, but you want sort of the star of this to be the turkey that you cooked yesterday. So it's okay to get a little color on these, but you're not really looking for a lot of it. All right, let's take a look at this. That looks okay. That looks okay. It's got a little skin on it, but I think it'll be okay. Same there. We'll just deal with it. Mostly I'm just looking for anything that feels sort of off texture. That kind of did. Because you never want to be eating some soup and it's just... I do not have the whole carcass. I'm glad you said that. I do have the big bones from the carcass that I'm going to put in the soup and take out later. But like the central carcass, I had picked clean, really. And actually, a lot of the collagen is in the drips because I do my I don't roast a turkey like they tell you to roast a turkey. I do my own thing with it. And so I never get the great skin that people are trying to get. I never get that, beautiful brown color because I roast mine in a closed roaster. But roasting mine in a closed roaster gives me something that you don't get out of a turkey roasted in the oven like that. And all the crisp skin in the world will not give me what I want. which is the base for this soup. Because realistically, I like this soup better than I like just the turkey by itself. You want it to be in good sized chunks. It will sort of break down in the soup, but you want it to be sort of stuff that'll fit on a spoon. I think that's pretty good. Maybe cut that one and that one. All right. All right, so these are soft, soft enough, right? They'll continue to soften while the soup is simmering. So let's change this to this one so I can see it. And let's bring this, I'm gonna have to unwrap it some. Does that get you that gets you to the lid. That gets you to the pot. Okay. So we have these vegetables that we, sliced and then we are cooking. Again, the carrot isn't traditional. I just like it for some color, and it doesn't really change much of the flavor because it's only one small carrot. So now we're going to add some liquid. So I have this, which is the turkey drips. And there's not much fat there, so I'm just going to put it in. And you can see that's, sort of gelatinized. And my turkey wasn't very big. My turkey was 7 pounds. All right, and this is broth I made yesterday with the neck. And also we're going to put in some other liquid. I've got, I think, one that's turkey broth. And one's that's chicken broth. That works. All right, so at this point you could just add water to this. I'm going to add stock because I have it. Well, this is broth, so I'm adding broth. And this is a little darker than normal because the all right, so we have that much liquid in it, and I'm gonna also add probably 2 cups of water. Well, a little less than 2 cups of water. Okay. And we'll give this a stir. And it has a nice amount of vegetables in it already. You can just tell how it stirs through. And what that dark thing you see floating in there is the gelatinized drips from the turkey. And now I'm going to put in, I don't know, about a tablespoon of this gravy that I made yesterday. Because it's nice and flavorful. It has some flour in it. And that'll help thicken it a little. Your main thickener in this soup, though, like I see people put cream in it. I see people use cream of chicken soup. And I guess if you were starting from nothing, that would be okay. But I found that the biscuit dumplings do it enough. All right, I'm just want to bring this up to a simmer. It's a little fatty though, so I'm gonna do this trick I saw one time, and I'm gonna put a towel on the top of it, and it should soak up some of the grease. Yeah, it did. You want a little bit in there, but you don't want as much as was there. Let me wash my hands, because now I've got that all over my hands. This over in the trash. Just put that there with my trash there. And so while we're waiting for that to heat up, give it a little more heat, and we'll put this turkey in it. I mean, you want to get it all in there. Even the little pieces will flavor the soup. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. So it's funny, like, I guess I'm doing this kind of through vibes, right? It's what people say now. Because the way I'm judging it is when I pull my spoon through the soup, is there enough stuff floating through it? And there is. Like, if you pull it through, you get, enough stuff. You don't want your soup just to be liquid. So we're going to put a lid on this, and we'll bring it up to a boil and turn it back. And I think that's going to be enough of the turkey. I might add some more later if I think it needs it, but that seemed like it would be enough. It's like playing Jenga in my refrigerator. All right. So I've got some herbs here. I think I have a little bag I can put them in. So I have a little bag here, and it's kind of like a tea bag. It's just a little muslin bag, and it has some pull strings on it. And what you do with this is you put herbs in it, and then you don't have to fish out the little herbs. So I've got some thyme and some rosemary here. AI recipes can be used for disastrous results. Yeah, I could imagine that. I mean, I wouldn't want to try an AI recipe unless I looked pretty hard at it to sort of like. I hear there are artists who do nothing but fix AI pictures, and that's kind of what I would want to do to an AI recipe. Well, for the most part, most of the things I've done have the recipes have been in the Discord. And there's the Discord. Or I guess JFries did it, and my thing didn't work. All right. So I've got some thyme and some rosemary in there, and then I've got this piece of sage, and I'll put that in there too. And again, like I said, this is nice because you can tie it up. Like you tie a shoe. And the water can get into the herbs, but like all the little leaves don't come off, and not that that would be terrible, but you just put that in your soup and you can pull it out later. And that was rosemary, sage, and thyme. I do have parsley, but I'll probably put that on at the end. All right, this can go over here. Let me turn this back to here because y'all looking at a closed pot is not interesting. Although if I'm not standing there, I don't know that that is interesting either. And that was just some. At this time of year, they'll sell fresh herbs that are just like a poultry mix. I don't. The dumplings I will do are basically a biscuit dough, and that will flour milk the. In fact, when I make this and I decide I want to split it, I split it before putting the dumplings in. Because if you put the dumplings in, you can never really boil it again because it burns on the bottom. Oh, that's right. I wanted to put these bones in here. So I got this bag of bones that I saved from the carcass, and it's got some meat on them. So we'll just put those in there. And they'll give to the sauce as well. Well, you're probably doing something more involved than I am, because I'm really just doing the dumpling recipe on the back of the box. All right, let me put this carrot back in the refrigerator. And there's some other flavoring I'll do to this. Actually, we'll use this again. Hi, Kelly Kong. How are you? I'm just making turkey and dumplings. So up to now, I have put in celery, onion, and one small carrot. Yeah, I do. I use Jiffy Mix. It's just what I prefer. Yeah, this is a turkey and dumpling soup, but it's not dumplings like. I'm not making like little dumplings that are full of something, or it's not the flat ones. It's like chicken and dumplings. Yeah, it's just with turkey. But the key to my soup that I have here is that I sort of braised my turkey, and so I get a lot of extra liquid with that, and that liquid is in the soup. And I think it makes a great turkey and dumplings. I'm just waiting for it to come up to a boil. Yes, it is. You know, it's funny. The first time I tried to make this myself, I had it at a much harder boil than it should have been, and the dumplings like disappeared into the soup. So it's starting to come up to a boil, and if I were good, I would take all of this stuff off the top, but I'm not. Also want to put in a couple other things. And that is, I think it needs a bay leaf. There's a good bay leaf. And some poultry seasoning. All right. There's one other thing I'll put in this too. I don't always put this in there. In fact, I bought 2 potatoes, and I think I only want to do 1. It's a very hearty soup, but it's cool today, and it does make it a little heartier if you chop up a potato and put in it. And I think a potato helps it. Let me just peel this real quick. Yes, I'm going to peel this one. Well, actually, this is a Yukon Gold. I probably could just leave the peel on it. If it's an Idaho potato, you do want to peel it. But these are actually usually okay. Maybe I won't peel it. Maybe I'll just scrub it good. Yeah, but an Idaho potato, like when you boil, the skin is nasty. It's just not. No. This is a gold potato, so I think it'll be okay. It is a little green, though. Aren't you not supposed to eat a potato if it's green? Well, I guess it's not too bad. We'll look at what it is if we cut into it. We'll just cut that out. It's better safe than sorry. All right, that looks like it's come to a boil there. It smells really good. All right. So we'll turn down that a little bit. You do want it to keep cooking, but... Oh, is that true? Okay. Well, I'm certainly not planning to do that tonight. We'll put that in there. And splash everywhere. That's nice. All right. You do want it to lose some liquid, so put the lid half on like that. Put these. So with the dumplings, I mix it up in a bowl and I spoon them out in big lumps. Only potatoes? Or is that going to be a thing? Let me look back in the chat here. I do Bisquick. I just use half an egg white. Half an egg white wouldn't moisten the dumplings that I make. I like the big dumplings, Matthew J. I like for it to be have that light texture in the middle. You'll have to excuse me for a moment. I need to, I'm going to sneeze, so I'm going to mute it. Sorry about that. I didn't think y'all wanted to listen to me sneeze. So this is going to boil for a while until the vegetables get totally tender, and probably about half an hour, I'd say. Well, it's pretty salty, so it's not really cakey in the middle. Well, I mean, if you leave any of the dumplings in it overnight, they pretty much turn into that pasta texture because they get soaking wet. So yeah, sometimes this is cooking. It's just waiting for something to happen, and we're at one of those stages right now. Here, I think I can just give that to y'all so y'all can watch the pot boil. Thank you, Matthew J. I like I try to make mostly the big ones. And it's funny, like, my mom would eat them, just eat the stuff by it, the dumpling by itself, like scoop into that and then get some soup after that. But my dad would break them all up into the soup. You know what I haven't done, though, with this soup? I haven't tasted it for seasoning, for salt. It's good, but it needs some salt. And some pepper. And give it a stir. Oh yeah, that would put a damper on it, wouldn't it? You could I don't know how you would do that and make it like resistant starch. You could make them whole wheat dumplings, but that might be weird. Are there keto biscuit mixes? That just seems like it would be weird, though. You sleep eat? My problem is that I don't really experience the sense of fullness like most people do. Oh, hold on a second. My hat has turned. All right, that should be better. Yeah, like, for me to feel full, I have to be so stuffed that it's uncomfortable. My feeling of fullness, generally, I just stop eating before I would ever experience that. But like that feeling of enough is not something I've can ever remember really encountering. I haven't tried Ozempic. I know one of the problems with Ozempic is that it can lead to muscle loss as well. They wanted me to do like bariatric surgery, and I wouldn't do it. I wasn't sure enough of the state of the future. Let's check on our soup. Looks like soup. So we'll let that simmer probably another 15 or 20 minutes. It could go for longer, but I don't know that I want for it to, if you know what I mean. I'm giving it a lot of help in that I have the drippings from the roast bird. This is the way my mother did it. I mean, and don't get me wrong, you can make this soup without cooking a bird. It just is always better if you do it. Like you can get like a rotisserie chicken, or you can cook some chicken. The key to it is you don't have the the key to it is you don't have the the intense turkey flavor from the drips. In fact, I'm probably doing this too much. My mom would like only have put in half of it and saved that for some future time. That's pretty good. It does need a little salt. I mean, that's what you're fighting here, is that most of the stuff has not been salted. But you don't want to overdo it either. And it is sort of concentrating somewhat while it's cooking. Probably about 8. My this is probably my favorite thing I make, but I don't do it a whole lot. One, it's hot here, so I don't do a lot of soup. And two, I'm kind of only really satisfied with it, on a after I've roasted a turkey or a chicken. But I'll probably For the sake of making it without that, I will probably do one. I think I'd probably start with a rotisserie chicken. But the other thing I think the soup needs, like, I almost got a turkey breast for us because it was just the two of us, and I managed to find a little 7-pound turkey. And it was funny because it just looked like a big chicken. Like it did not evoke turkey. But the soup really needs the dark meat for it to be good. Like you could make this with all white meat. The white meat cooks to such a point that and even my sister who only really likes white meat, still concedes that the soup needs the dark meat to taste right. But, like if I don't think I have enough meat in it, I have been known to open a can of chicken and put in it or, go back and do something else. And that's the other reason I'm doing it in this big pot is so I have enough room for the dumplings. And if you don't separate it, you can still take the soup and heat it up. You just have to heat it up pretty gently, and add something like rice to it, or orzo, or you can thicken it a little and put it over egg noodles. That works too. I've done that. I don't know if I'm going to separate this or not, though. I mean, yes, it's good to have that later, but when you separate it, you have to add liquid back to it, and you can't always balance it right again. But you can get it close. It's still better than, like, if you didn't have something to do with it. All right. So let's take a look at what we've got here. We've got a nice, it's not a clear soup, but that's fine. The soup is not going to be clear at the end anyway. But there's plenty of, stuff in it, including some things we're not going to want in it, like some bones. And we'll take that and that out. And you can see the dried herbs have gone into the fats in the soup. It's getting there. But like I said, you're always sort of fighting the salt. And it can take a good amount of pepper. In fact, when I make this, when I put this in a bowl, I will almost always put pepper on top of it. Oops. Have to get a bowl. So I'm not quite to the point yet of doing the dumplings. I would say use the baking mix of your choice. Bisquick is what you'll most commonly find. I like Jiffy, the people who make the little corn muffins. And I've seen people that like put stuff in their dumplings, like put stuff like thyme in their dumplings, or I actually have a Neil's Meals Blue Sky too. I don't know if I have it on my link tree, but it might be there. I forget to post on it as much. I don't put anything in the dumplings other than what it calls for. I usually make the amount of dumplings it makes. It tells you for 2 cups, and sometimes I make 3. It depends on how many dumplings I want. And it says 10 to 12 dumplings in the, I don't know. I usually use, sorry. I usually use like the bigger of the 2 soup spoons for it. And you know, if you have a big turkey, this probably isn't going to use up your turkey. This actually didn't even use up all of my turkey, but we were planning to have basically Thanksgiving dinner again on Sunday, so because we still have, you know, the sides left over. And but I know that there's like turkey tetrazzini, and people make stuffing sandwiches, which I have never been one to do that. I'd make a turkey sandwich, or I'd make some of the turkey into turkey salad and make that into a sandwich. All right. So we probably have let this cook quite a while here. It's been at least 45 minutes, I think. So we'll give it a stir. That tastes good. But let's take a pair of tongs and pull out those bones. I must have had like a thigh joint in there. Oop. Okay, I think I found the bones in here. Oh, there was one. Okay. All right, I think we've got the bones out. All right. So I'll let these cool, and then they have given up. They're starting to bleach. A hot tub soak. All right. So we've been making turkey and dumplings. That's the soup I've been making. I would say these herbs have probably given their all. I think I will pull that out too. And I'll just put that there for right now. All right. So let me scrape down the sides. Oh, wait. I think I just saw it. I'm looking for the bay leaf. Oh, there it is. I would say it's done its work too. Bay leaf is a funny thing because if you forget it, you miss it. But if it's in there, you don't necessarily notice it. That's pretty good. Oh my goodness. What all were you cooking for 24 hours? I can't even imagine. I did that 4-hour stream and most of my cooking was done. Well, it wasn't 4 hours. It was like 2.5. All right. So I would say that this is enough liquid that the dumplings won't crater. And everything is soft. So I think it's time we turn to the dumplings. So the dumplings are 9 hours of cooking. What all did you have? I ended up cutting one of the dishes in mine because I just didn't have it in me to make another one. I made everything I would normally make except for carrots. I had, well, y'all saw me, if you were here earlier in the week, y'all saw me do the dressing, the sweet potato casserole, and the deviled eggs and the cranberry sauce. The only other things I cooked were, I made gravy, and I made green beans, and I made the turkey. And a pumpkin pie. That's one. That's two. I don't know if I want to do three. You want this sort of really boiling when you do it. I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. Maybe I'll do half a cup. All right, so that's 2.5 cups. And that'll take about 3/4 of a cup of milk. If you wanted them tougher, you could use water. All right. So we need some milk. Turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, stuffing, butternut squash from your garden, carrots, peas, cranberry bread, sausage bread, cranberry sauce, chocolate cream pie, and apple pie. We had turkey, dressing, gravy, sweet potato casserole, green beans, but the way my mother cooked them, which is not the way anyone usually cooks them anymore. Deviled eggs and pumpkin pie, and I purchased rolls. I didn't make them. All right. So I put a little extra in here. So I put a little extra milk in, but I'm not going to use it all yet. because you can always add some more, but you can't take it away. And then you just sort of stir it together. Can use a little more. The one thing about these dumplings is if they don't have enough liquid, they won't make right. Just going to end up taking it all. You want it to be a little on the stickier side for this purpose. All right, so we've got this boiling. So you want it at a good boil when you put them in, and then you turn it down. All right. All right. So that's what it looks like when you stir it up, right? And I just do it in sort of blobs. And that's going to be the last one. I just used 2 spoons so I can use one to scrape it off. All right, and so we're going to simmer these with the lid off for about 10 minutes. Because you want them to set before you put the lid on. Let's see, you were... Let's take a look here. First of all, I'm coming with that is a large assortment. I hope you had a lot of people there. Let's see. Crawdle did turkey stuffing, gravy, pie, confit garlic, roasted beet and sweet potato salad topped with the confit garlic, corn muffins, pickled beets. This is a very beet-forward Thanksgiving. Cowboy candy. Isn't that corn dish? Or is it black-eyed peas or something? Cheesy potatoes, queso blanco, salsa, guacamole, carrot slaw. Yeah, and some cold fresh sauce. Fresh shredded Brussels sprouts with beet tops and candied jalapenos. Yeah, I guess I have more of a white person sort of Thanksgiving, but I don't super love spicy stuff. Um, I don't think I would ever serve candied jalapenos, but that sounds neat. And that's an awful lot to cook. I hope you had a big group of people. I mean, like I said earlier, my turkey was only 7 pounds. So, but you let the dumplings cook uncovered to set, and then we'll put the lid on it and turn the heat down a little bit to cook the tops and cook them through. Yeah, I don't know. I never was a super beet lover. I walked like, so I'm in Florida, so Publix is basically what we have. And I knew I didn't want a big turkey, and it was like a week ago I walked into a Publix and they had put the turkeys on sale for 49 cents a pound. And I walked up to the case and found it was like 7.1 pounds, and I was like, this is perfect. And I ended up paying $3.50 for it. And I've gotten higher end turkeys, ones I've ordered from people. It was just as good as any other turkey I'd ever had. There was a feather on one of the wings, but oh, pickled beets. Yeah, my dad liked pickled beets. I always thought beets kind of tasted like dirt to me. Give you all a picture of that. Have those simmer away in that soup. But it's good to make like I just make what I've kind of always made, and everybody seems to like it. So I've never had specific requests. We don't have anything. I mean, Aldi would probably be the cheapest thing we have here. I've heard of Grocery Outlet, and I've seen like YouTubers go there, but that's out west. I mean, in Florida there is no cheap groceries. The local chain Publix has like, I don't 12 or 1300 grocery stores total, and over 800 of them are in the state of Florida. Oh, are they based in Tennessee? You have like Aldi and Save a Lot, and there's a Dollar General grocery store. It's not near here. You have some Hispanic grocery stores. You have some Asian grocery stores. And then you have Target, Walmart, and Publix. Well, you sort of have Winn-Dixie, but they just tore the one down here. Okay, I think this is cooked enough. for me to put the top on and turn it down. Because you can kind of tell by looking at it. So I say dressing if it's in a pan, and stuffing if it's in a bird. And I've never done stuffing. I've never put that into a turkey. What I put in the cavity of the turkey is just some vegetables, and some herbs. And they're considered sacrificial, like they are for the greater good of the turkey. Dressing, so it's interesting. Stuffing is the older word, obviously, and it used to always pretty much be in the bird because there wasn't a pan. There was no oven. Dressing came about in the 19th century when the Victorians felt that the term stuffing was unseemly, so they started calling it dressing. That term held on in certain parts of the country. I'm from Virginia, so it was always dressing in my house. I would say dressing held on in my area that I grew up in probably until like stovetop stuffing became a thing. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say you went a little overboard, Crawdalt. But it's really cool. It's a widely varied mix. I guess I'm pretty boring because I pretty much do the same things every year. There are a few that I don't do anymore. Like there was a broccoli casserole recipe that my grandmother used to do that I sort of took up the mantle of doing after she passed. And I have often described the recipe as a way to remove any nutritional value from broccoli. Because basically the whole recipe is that you take some frozen broccoli, like the broccoli cuts, and you cook it, and then you mix it with Velveeta and butter, and like a lot. And then you put that in the bottom of a pan, and then you take butter and crushed Ritz crackers and mix that together and put them on top and bake it. And it is delicious. But it's a bit much. I like the sweet potato casserole. The potato casserole is not super sweet, but the topping of it is. The topping is almost like cinnamon nut candy. I've never had good Brussels sprouts. My mom didn't like them when I was a kid. She got so she liked them later in life. But she made some for us, and they were from frozen ones, so they pretty much had no texture at all. And they were like mushy, and they kind of tasted like dirt. But yeah, well, so this is less sweet than what my mother did. So my mother would do, actually, I think it's in this book. This is my mother's cookbook, and an old cash book. There's a few things in here that typically showed up at our holiday table. This is what I made the other day, stuffed pork chops. There's the broccoli casserole. No, that's not the one sheep. That's not my grandmother's. There is a recipe for pickled beets in here. Sally Lund, tuna casserole. I can never remember a tuna casserole ever. Okay. So pink salad is one I saw a lot. Frozen fruit salad, I remember. Hey, Mr. Mad Mothy. Hamburger pie, I think I've done. Oh, I wonder if it's a card. I thought it was in here. So for candy, what she would do for sweet potatoes is she would boil them whole and slice, get the peels off of them and slice them. And then she would lay them in an oblong pan and make this syrup out of brown sugar and molasses and I guess water. And then she would put those in the oven and cook them for a while, and then she would cover the top with marshmallows and melt those. And it was so sweet. It was like, I love sweet things, and it was so sweet I couldn't eat it. My sister would love it if I made it. I could have sworn it was in here, though. Yeah, that's about where I'd go with it. I'm running out of pages, though. I'm just looking back to see if I missed it. Applesauce spice bread. Yeah, it must have been a card. It must have been a card. Well, at this time of year, I want a pumpkin pie. And a pumpkin pie isn't super sweet. Our Thanksgiving was good. It was me and my husband, and we had a little turkey, and I just had a little 7-pounder. And we had a sausage dressing I make, and sweet potato casserole, and green beans, and gravy, and deviled eggs. I made the custard. I'm not the best with no, because I'm the only one who'll eat them. So there's still some in there. I will admit that I use the already pie crust that you buy in the produce in the dairy case because I'm not good with pastry. I, oh, the timer's done, so let's take a look and see what we've got. All right. That's hot. All right, so you can see we've got the dumplings, and I will do this classic test of putting in a toothpick. I think they're done. I'll give them another minute. Yeah, so that's turkey and dumplings, and then what I'll do is I'll spoon it out into low, flat bowls. Try to get the soup contents, the turkey and the vegetables, and then depending on the size of the dumplings, give them one or two. Oh, thank you, Uncommon Wolf. Yeah. I mean, if you're in a hurry and, of course, if you make the pie crust with butter, it's always going to taste better. But, sometimes at the end of the day, the crust is just there to hold the damn pie. And, I always thought the stuff that you roll out and, pinch into the pan is a lot better than like those ones that come frozen, the old Pet Ritz crusts. All right, so we put it on here for a little bit. Let me get a thing because it was very hot. And I think we need to turn the heat off. Yeah, I think they're good. The little ones never quite do as well as the bigger ones. All right, so how do we spoon this up? I have this thing here, and what I'll try to do is to go kind of like under the dumplings and get a nice scoop of the soup and get some broth. Get a dumpling. And that's a bowl. Although actually, I think I want to give her a nicer looking one. Let's give her this one. There we go. Hold on, I've got to take a picture. All right. Yeah, the soup tends to be very hot, so you need the wide bowl. And I'm just going to spoon the rest of this out, but I will rage all out. I want you to know, though, that I'm glad y'all all showed up. This is one of my better recipes, I feel like. And I really am glad I could share it with you. I'm going to have trouble writing it up, but I will do that. If you're interested in, I post all of these recipes and videos in Discord. I don't know if it popped up or not because it doesn't show me on one chat. Let me look at OBS. Where's OBS? I need to find the right one. That one. Yes, it did. Or no, this must not be working. Well, he put it in there. No, I record these and I post them to YouTube, but you can always look at the VOD on Twitch. Also, I have on my Discord, I will post the YouTube video, and usually I post the recipe with it. I'm going to have to write up what I do with this because this is something I just sort of do off the cuff. Yes, I finally say VOD. I dislike the term VOD because to me it's just you're saying it's video on demand, but you know what? All videos are on demand because you have to turn on something and that's your demand. I'm thinking about doing that. I'm looking for another food and drink streamer. But what I might do... I think we're going to send you over to Appy Juice, who is cooking. She's been cooking for about an hour. I don't know what she's cooking. Although she's kind of jerky. I don't want to send y'all to a jerky stream. Actually, I think I've seen this person cook. So, oh no, they're weird. I don't want to do that to y'all. I'm just going to send y'all to someone I know. I'm going to actually send you over to a game streamer that I know, Andy Bundy, and he's playing Metroid Prime Remastered, and he's a good friend, so y'all will be doing that. I think, yep, he's doing that. So I just want y'all to know that I really love that y'all come see me and visit with these recipes that I make. Thank you so much for all the support you give me. I really do appreciate it. I don't have follower announcements turned on, so if you follow me, it's totally up to your choice. I do see it, but I do not like to call people out unless they want to, tell me something. So, and I really, that's fine. You can always watch it on a VOD or or miss it and catch my next one. It's totally fine. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy your holiday season. I will, of course, be back probably on Tuesday. I'm going out of town after that, but so I'll probably miss the next weekend. But please, always eat something good for yourself, something that is healthy and nourishing, and something that you love, which may be 3 different things. And thank you for coming to my stream. I appreciate it. We're going to go now to Andy Bundy. Y'all have a good night. I need to hit raid and